Greetings everyone and welcome. My name is Real McDowell and this will be a channel update for the month of January. I also kind of want to mention that this is also a bit of a test pilot to see how it all works because I'm recording this on the last day of January, so technically it's for the month of January for the last 2 weeks I was uploading, but it's also going to segue to February for a little bit. But all said and done, this is just going to give a brief rundown with the channel status, like what are the current projects right now, what are the current statuses of them. Like, maybe I've already finished it and gonna give a projection date on when they're gonna be finished, even though I will do that anyways. And even maybe reveal on what type of games will be in store for the channel. Now, I don't like to reveal future Let's Plays, but I could reveal, like, what's in store, like, what could be the next game. Like, I won't reveal it, but maybe give a bit of a small hint at what those said games could be. Or even in the bad news type of section, like, I don't know, a project had to go on hiatus because the save file got corrupted. Like, we're part 152 of Skyrim, but the file, or the last recovery save would be all the way back in part 1, like the very beginning of the game. And if that would be the case, I would immediately scrap the project immediately, and then in the near future, in the very, very near future, or closer, because I actually do love Skyrim, replace the game until, like, until a decision would be made. So that's basically it. But without further ado, let's get right into this. I kind of do want to somewhat mention is that from the 20th up until the 30th, which was just yesterday, I was actually on a bit of a recording break. I was basically just like, I needed just like a small bit of a break, and the reason why is because it's the start of the semester now. So I kind of took, like, maybe I wanted to take the 20th up until the 24th, to have just a little bit of a time to kind of assess the algorithm of my classes and just trying to see, like, in general, if anything might be just conflicting, or not conflict, but make recording just a little bit difficult. But it doesn't look to be that hard for time being until I get like a 10-page essay on the meaning of grass, to which, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen on there. So yeah, I don't know why I took the extended break, but I think it's like I wanted the 27th up until the 30th, which was just yesterday again. I think I just kind of wanted just like to just spend time with, I just wanted to spend time by myself and with friends. And I think that's all I kind of wanted just to do. So for the most part, the 20th up until the 24th was mostly basically acceptable, understanding the class algorithm, and the 27th and the 30th, I was just being a lazy ass. So it's just a typical normal day of me. Alright, let's get right into the whole shebang with the project. So, I have put myself on the task of playing 3 games onto this channel, which, for the most part, is going to be pretty difficult, and if I don't actually categorize the games that I'm doing. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of RPG games, so I'm going to try to tend the games to RPG on this channel. However, I kind of might space them out, to which I could do RPG and a little bit of action adventure, or maybe in the near future, or coming months, I could actually play a little bit of the those click games. I am a stupid idiot for not remembering what those are. Point and click games. I do actually have some interest in some of those games, and I kind of want to see how they all play out. So yeah. So now moving forward, I kind of want to mention into the current project of the 3 games that are currently on the channel right now. So currently occupying the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday slot, which I think debuted back in January 20th, is Digital Devil's Story Megami Tensei. This is the precursor to the Shin Megami Tensei and the Persona games, and I think if I remembered correctly, the game currently clocks in at 40 plus hours, if I were to be correct about. I think I could be. I think it's 40 plus hours if my memory is correct. If not, I don't know. I feel like most NES games could only go up to 40 plus hours depending on the whole thing, but I could just be wrong and I could just be a plain idiot, just not remembering how long. But it's either 40 or 40 plus, or 45, whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest by saying that from the 6th of the January. I am messing up the name January here. From the 6th up until the 10th, there was another early set of videos that I recorded from Christmas and it was the Kyaku Megami Tensei, which is the remake of Digital Devil Story 1 and 2. And personally, I wanted to kind of play those games now, because Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei is basically more challenging than Kyaku Megami Tensei. Now, the combat system, it's similar. Like, everything about the combat system is basically similar to Kyaku, minus the fact that there's really not much items. I think the only items in Digital Devil, to my knowledge, is just the jewels, to which I'm getting screwed immediately. But as you can tell, I'm labeling Digital Devil Story as a blind project because I feel like the event in Digital Devil Story or in Kyaku Megami Tensei could be basically different, and the layouts are drastically more different, thus making navigation just a little bit more difficult, to say the least. But Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei, there's like a bit of problems I have with this game, but it doesn't necessarily affect the mood. That would be the Saturday and Sunday series. My only gripes with the thing is that you can't abandon the demons that you acquire, which makes it like easier for me to fill up my compendium. And I think like you only have like a 5 compendium, which I think would be similar to Kyaku, I think. No, I think in Digital Devil you have a total of 5, and I think in Kyaku you have 7. I don't fully now remember. I think, well, hardware limitations to say the least. Basically, the whole navigation of Digital Devil, like I mentioned, is actually more difficult because with Kyaku Megami Tensei, you actually do have a built-in map ready to go, and it already marks like the necessary areas, and like you have the merchant on this one area. With Digital Devil, you actually don't have that type of same semblance. You don't actually have the map in the menu. You have to rely on the map on the left side of the screen, which is going to be problematic if you're going to be, you know, doing all that great stuff. And mostly the grinding in Kyaku is actually pretty more easier. If I remembered correctly, in the earlier recording sessions, I actually got from like level 8 up to level 20 just because of the enemy cancer in the game. Because if you can manage to fight that enemy pretty early, I think he spawns in the 4th floor, you can easily get 200 to 300 experience points, which immediately boost up levels. And with the thing I have with Kyaku Megami Tensei is that, like with the elevator, when you get the comm gem to go after you fight the Minotaur, you can easily go to the 3rd floor and fight the, I don't know if it's like a version of the Baku, but if you fight it, it drops a decent amount of experience that if you're level 15 or 18 and you have like basically the devils at 15 or whatever, 17, you can easily take him on and actually get up to like level 30. And as I put in one of the Valhalla description, I think it's like the beginning, like I think episode 5 of Valhalla, I mentioned that I'm putting myself through torture because I'm going to Valhalla, the underground of Valhalla. I mentioned that because the Valhalla underground is more of a level 30 to 40, like level 20-ish. I think I was like level 18 or level 14, I don't remember anymore. It was like level 20 to 25, and most of the enemies there will also be more dangerous. Like, I think it was the new or the elf. I forget which ones were the worst, but to basically get everything to summarize, Digital Devil Story is a pretty hard game, but it is somewhat, well, it's not forgiving, because with Kyaku you would gain a teleportation spell. This one, you do get it, but that's like at level 35, and there's not really like much of a healing spot at where I'm currently at, because I'm currently in the Maruzuka area. I think there is a healing spot in the coming floors when I descend, but man, I hope something good happens in the coming Maruzuka area, because we're almost done with the game. Because after the Maruzuka area, it's the Sea of Flames, and then Infinity, which is the final area, to which, hopefully, the game is going to be projected to be finished by February at the best. In terms of the sequel, Digital Devil Story 2, from what I've been made aware of is that there is a translation for the game. However, it's only translated to a certain point, so that's going to be a bit difficult to cover, but, well, I don't know how, but it's going to be, let's see what happens. However, what I kind of want to do is that after I do finish Digital Devil Stories, I'm going to actually let's play Kyaku Megami Tensei on the channel. So, or the first part of Kyaku Megami Tensei, and then when that comes in, then we'll do Digital Devil Story 2. So, that is going to be the go-to plan. So yeah, I've been talking about Digital Devil Story for like 5 minutes now. Wow. I think it's just because I love the I love the Persona games. I never really played any of the Shin Megami Tensei games. So, I'm excited just to see how the rest is. So, we're in it for the long run here. Until I play the Elder Scrolls games, because oh my god, it's gonna be problematic as hell. So, moving forward, let's talk about the Tuesday and Thursday slot, Soul Blazer. Okay. I didn't mention this in the Digital Devil section, but I think I did mention it, but you need a game facts guide to really help you out, because the moment you get lost in Digital Devil Story without the game facts map, you're going to be immediately lost forever. Soul Blazer, as a person who has never played Soul Blazer before, if I don't have a guide next to me, I feel like I'm going to be missing critical things that could actually help progress the game or make the boss fights somewhat easier. A good example is, I don't know if it's already up already, is that in the second area where like you have the 3 shrines you have to go into, there is I think it's the water shrine, and then the fire shrine, then the holy shrine. The water shrine actually had another enemy that I actually missed, to which I need to press the start button just a little bit more, just to see like how many enemies are currently still in the area, minus the metal enemies that can't be killed until very future, to which I'll dedicate an entire episode to kill those metal enemies, so that, you know, the game could be somewhat completed. But man, I'm doing pretty bad, and as you can see from the game, I'm actually doing pretty worse at the game. So yeah, Soul Blazer, if I remember correctly, that game is currently logged in at like 13 to 14 hours, and I don't think I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this in a deleted audio recording of this, but the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the Saturday and Sunday slots are the more important, because those are true RPGs where I actually do need to grind, just so that I can actually better understand it. With Soul Blazer, it's more of an action RPG, so there really isn't most point for me to grind, and most of the enemies kind of drop like 10 experience points at the best. While like, I don't know, like the next experience goal would be like, I don't know, 3,500 type of thing, while I could be at 2,000, so it really wouldn't make much sense for that. And the enemies that drop the more experience would be the enemies that would spawn from the special zones. So yeah, I am fully aware that Soul Blazer is part of an unofficial trilogy. I think the next game after Soul Blazer would be Illusion of Gaia or Terranigma, but I would have to look back at it, and then whatever game it's gonna be, that would be the next game. I don't know when, but it's all gonna be where it is gonna be going in. But I don't think I'm actually near the end of the game. I think I'm currently in the I'm in the part where you get the water armor. So I think I'm in the middle, just like with Digital Devil. Well, Digital Devil, yeah, I'm in the middle. Alright, so moving from 2 games that I've actually do kind of like to play on this channel, to a game I've actually despised to do on this channel. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't hate the Saturday and Sunday slot game. It's just that it somehow annoys me to a degree of anger. Almost everything I said there sounds stupid. Man. Alright, so the Saturday and Sunday slot is the Sword of Hope for the Game Boy Color. From the silence, I don't know why. The game is just... it's not good. I don't hate the game necessarily. I just hate the mechanics, the combat system, and almost anything about it. I can understand. It's a Game Boy Color game. There's restrictions. But, God, everything, like the combat system. So, now from Digital Devil, I always put the auto button because, like, you know, it's the easiest way to do combat. I can't use the auto button on there because it could just use up an item that I don't want to use. And let's just say this much: the enemies in the Sword of Hope are relentless on my on me. And it just takes a certain enemy just to annoy me. I think like we are currently in the Camus domain, or I'm finishing up the Camus domain. I'm currently in the grinding stage right now. If I were to go back into the Shabu, or I think it's Martel, which is after you fight Trent, after the Martel domain, in the Martel domain, you meet elementals, which are basically, if you hit them, they may explode, and they have the lowest HP, but they can deal a decent amount of damage. And like with Mimic Chests, the Mimic Chests are both, almost any enemies in the game are random. Like, they could deal like a low damage of 5, or they could do a critical of 32 that could easily wipe off half of my entire health. And not even the magic system in the game is completely agitating, because it just takes a, like, if I use fire, like I think it's like fire 4, if I use it, there's a great chance it will hit me instead it hits the enemies. And everything about it just annoys me. But I'm almost glad to say that the game is almost finished. I think all it's left is just going to be the underground domain and the castle, and after that, the game's over. I'm hoping for the best that the sequel is much better. So I think as of right now, I think all the projection dates will be set to February or early March at the best, to see if, like, they're gonna be finished. So yeah. I think that's all I have to say for this update videos, or the update audio, because I need to do whatever, blah blah blah. Hope you guys do enjoy it, and until then, I will see you guys